Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Frozen Fortunes. If you're still enjoying the series, do be sure to drop a like on the video. That really helps the channel out. You have no idea. So, in the last video, we had our huge Christmas period and played our first two games of the second stage of the season, and we won an away game. Now, okay, I think part of that might have been down to the tactic, fair enough, but I think also them getting a man sent off certainly helped, although we were winning before that, so who knows? Now, today is going to be the first day that I've played on the brand new update, which I believe is 18.3. Now, I've had a look at the changelog, and it's good. I'm glad they're updating things. Obviously, it's the winter update too, so there's the huge transfer updates, which obviously won't matter to us, but hopefully there's a few little things in the game that might have been tweaked just to make it more fun, and we've always got to appreciate that. But without any further ado, let's get into the games that we've played this episode. Now, I was kind of hopeful going into the game against Skiva, and honestly, I think we were a bit unfortunate in this game. I'm going to show you the stats so you can see what I mean. I hate having to put cuts in there, but one of the annoying things about this skin is that when you click on the game just to look at it, it loads the game in the background as if you wanted to watch the highlights. Bit frustrating, but we deal with it. So yeah, looking at the game, we were very, very unfortunate. The first goal was a mistake, fair play from us, but the second goal was just a long-range belter. And looking at the stats, you'd think it's a pretty even game. We had some good opportunities and just weren't able to do enough to get the result. So I think on another day, this could have been a draw or maybe even a win. So again, away performance is definitely looking better, although the result in this case wasn't quite so good. Just realised I called them Skiva when I meant Griva. I don't know where Skiva came from. In our next game, we travelled away again, this time to a team. Now, I'm going to try this one. I looked up a pronunciation for this one on Forvo, but it was really mumbly and I couldn't really understand it. So I'm going to go with Skorshaved. That's going to be my closest bet. I know that it doesn't sound great, but it's the best I can do for now. And we actually put in a fairly solid performance once again. Nicky Stephenson grabbing himself a brace, Mikael Nygård getting a goal for himself as well. A 3-3 draw isn't a bad result away from home, as at the time they were 4th in the league. It's this game that really annoyed me. A 1-1 draw against HIK, who were actually 3rd in the league coming into this game, so I thought it was going to be tougher. And in a way it kind of was, and I'll show you why. We really were amazingly good in this game and were so unfortunate to come out of this with a 1-1 draw. We had 19 shots. Not that that matters in the grand scheme of things, but look at the amount of chances we created. 4 clear-cut opportunities, and they were really good chances that were just being fluffed at the last minute. 7 half chances as well. We should have probably won this game about 4 or 5-0, just looking at the chance creation, but we just weren't good enough on the day, and they took their chance, which was a penalty, of course it was, their only shot on target of the game, and I would say we got FM'd, but that's not a thing. That happens in real life sometimes, and we just had one of those days for us. But I was starting to get a bit worried as we'd got ourselves an away loss, an away draw, and now a home draw as well. And I was starting to wonder that maybe things aren't going to go so well for us because we were really starting to slip down the league at this point. Which was then not helped in any way by another away defeat, this time at Brunshaw. And we weren't very good. Fransson got us a goal, but they were just the better side, frankly. Christopher Ibsen was sent off in this one too, which did not help, as it meant we were without a defensive midfielder for much of that game. But as you can see, you're looking at the ratings here, Kenneth Jensen is still putting in solid performances. I've alternated him and Borup this month as much as I can, just to keep them fit, because a lot of the games were quite close together, so enabling me to do a bit of squad rotation, which might help us in the long run. I was really starting to worry about morale at this point, because I know how powerful morale seems to be this year. If you can get yourself a winning run going, it tends to keep going quite considerably, and if you start to lose a couple or lose some form, the morale does seem to drop. More so, I think, than on previous games. That's just my experience. I don't know if you've had the same thing, but morale does seem to be way more important this year, and it was starting to drop for us. So getting this win here against BK Avata was so important. We took the lead, well, very late on, in fact, with Mikael Nygård, and I thought, right, we've done it. It was a very, very poor game, to be honest. We were not great, didn't create many chances, but then when Alfred Austin equalised for them, I was terrified. Thankfully, Mikael Nygård, who came off the bench in this game, remember, he was great. He scored the goal, and then he hassled the defender, passed the ball back across the net, and there was Suramboya at the back post to make it 2-1. Brilliant stuff. We got ourselves back to winning ways. In a game we should really have been winning. They were 8th in the league coming into the game. Admittedly, we were 6th, but that's just because we were starting to slide at this point. But it was all very, very tight, as you'll see at the league tables in a sec. Which is why this game came out of absolutely bloody nowhere. Now, B93 started off as one of the lower scoring teams in this division, and by the time we played them, they were currently sitting top. So I was kind of expecting maybe scrape a draw with them, maybe nick a 1-0 win. No, it was not to be. In fact, we smashed them, and I don't know how this happened. Mikael Nygård has really found some form lately, which has seen him come back into the side in place of Nicky Stephenson, who dropped a lot of form off over these games. Then Dan Benson got sent off after 58 minutes, and I thought, okay, that's this game. They're going to try and come back. They will come back. But they didn't. We actually seemed to get better after he got sent off, which is crazy. Rasmus Bigler got one on 67 minutes, and then Daniel Gregerson, of all people, who had an absolute stonking performance there with an 8.9. Finn Pedersen was excellent in this game too, as was Andre Gunnarsson. And I really think the defensive setup has made a hell of a difference for us. Now, all of that has left the league table looking somewhat like this. We were actually top after the game, but Griva, who beat us earlier, looked like one of the strongest teams in this division. But as you can see, Søren Bøje actually is the top average rating player in the entire division, and he's got 10 assists this season. 5 Man of the Match awards. He really is having a bloody good season. I think relegation is pretty much off the cards now. We're 8 points clear, but it was starting to get a little bit dicey before we got those couple of wins together. Seedvest really are looking doomed. Odder looked to go with them, and today the team we're playing is Nesby, who are also in the mire, so hopefully we can make things worse for them. The one change I made to the tactic during the B93 game was to close down much more, or more. I can't actually remember. It was one of those two, because they were passing the ball around a lot, and I thought either we can stand off and let them do it, or we can try and close them down. Now, I think that might have been responsible for Dan Benson's red card, but I think we just harried them off the ball, and that might be something we can rely on in games where we're starting to lose a little bit of the possession, well, not the possession, the sort of pressure that we've been putting on teams. So maybe a good thing to fall back on. Finances wise, we're still making money very slowly, £27,500 in the bank. Now, that might go up or down at the end of the season, it depends. We've got kit sponsorships and things like that. Hopefully we can get a few more things like that just to build the budget up a little tiny bit. It doesn't really matter to us that much yet, but I want to have a decent amount in the kitty before we can try and convince the board to go a semi-professional, because the moment that happens is the moment that the club could find some serious problems with finances. Because if we did get to the second tier in Denmark, we would be the only amateur side in it, and I just think that if we got there, the board would probably go semi-professional, maybe even without me. But I would definitely ask for it at that point, because I think we'd need that to try and keep up. And it would allow us to hopefully hold on to some of our youth prospects for a little bit longer. Not that any more have gone just yet. It might not even allow us to hang on to them for any longer, but it would at least allow us to get some money for them in some transfer deals, which means I can put some of my lovely clauses in down the line, which will hopefully get us some of those 50% of next sale clauses and loan backs. Those are the kind of things I love, and you really do need to exploit when you're playing in the lower leagues. Now, you might remember in the last video I talked about the situation with the centre-backs, and I wanted to try and show you that, but obviously I didn't have the right I didn't have the right view in here, but I've downloaded them, and again, you can download them from Cleon's website. They're very, very useful and far more well constructed than anything I could have made, and it's a great overview of your team. But what I was trying to point out in the last episode was that Christopher Ibsen was winning on average 3.46 headers a game, which is fine. But when you look at his defensive partnerships at the time, 6.717 and 5.79, it's quite a noticeable gap between him and them, and it has to be down to his stats. Now, I put Andre Gunnarsson in for those games, and as you can see, 7.86 headers a game. He's played maybe 3 or 4 games, so that, again, would take some time to maybe settle down. But still, you can see that he is winning balls in the air for us, and I think that's making a good effect for those home games. Once again, looking at the header percentages as well, Ibsen, 59%. The others, 82, 74, fine, and 77, all back in a range that I would like. So I think that's going to be my 3 at the back for now. It's tackles, Ibsen's a bit better in that sense, but I'm not sure how much we're losing as a result of that. But when you look at the tackles-1 ratio, Finn Pedersen, 79, Gunnarsson, 82. Gregersson's the only one that really sort of stands out as being poor in the tackle, but he still wins a decent number of them per game. As for interceptions, yet again, Gunnarsson is the man for the interception. He's been fantastic for that so far, and I really think he could go quite far with us at the moment. I thought we'd just take a brief look at the squad dynamics, because it's something we've not even talked about just yet. We've got no team leaders yet, but we do have some highly influential players in Mikkel Nygaard, Finn Pedersen, Nicky Steffensen, and also Rune Kortsen, who is technically the club captain as well. So that's something we might need to look into in the off-season, because I don't think he's going to get that many games for us at the moment. Although he might get more now that we're playing a system that actually has proper fullbacks. So it means I can rotate him and Rasmus Kramer around, maybe appease him a bit and get him some first-team football, because I don't want to get one of our highly influential players on my back, because that could really upset the team balance. Just need to turn these filters back on again. It's one of the annoying things. I wish that didn't carry over to other screens, but it does. So, Fransen, Nygaard, Bøje, they've been relatively good lately. Fransen's average rating over the last few games has fallen somewhat, so I'd be tempted, in fact, to bring Nicky Steffensen back into the team for today, and that gives us some good partnerships up top too, which would be very helpful. Benson, unfortunately, isn't going to be his day. Shall we get Mikkelsen in? It's either Mikkelsen or Roda. Let's see. Is Mikkelsen the one that can play there really well? Yeah, he is. Okay, that's his position, so we might as well let him play there. Kramer and Jensen doing their thing. Pedersen, Gunnarsson, Gregerson. The partnerships haven't quite developed fully there. You might also notice I've moved Gunnarsson back to just standard defence. I felt that he perhaps wasn't getting... I think he might have been suffering from some of the same problems as Ibsen being pushed forward, except, of course, Ibsen was having other issues too. So I think moving him back might be an ideal point. I think some of our long balls over the top are actually coming from our centre-backs, which does make me think that maybe suggesting to them to actually play some longer passes might be beneficial to us, but we can try that out at a later date. Gregerson actually has 5 passing. I don't know what his vision is like. What's his vision like? It's 2. I do wonder if maybe getting Gregerson to try a few more risky passes might not be such a bad idea. because he's one of the players that's been lumping them over the top and getting our strikers on when perhaps Dearmorsa can't do that. So maybe getting him to do that might actually be an ideal situation for us. We can't really use ball-playing defenders for them because they're just not good enough, but that might be something I'll move over to at a later date. You might also notice that we've been using Morten Bisgaard in goal. I felt that Ludvigsen was just struggling a little bit in games, but I mean, neither of the goalkeepers are doing that great, but he's got a slightly higher star rank, so I thought we'd give him a little go for now, see if he's any better. We can compare at the end of the season and see which goalkeeper to go forward with. On the bench, we're going to go with Rune Kortsen, Bigler, Reece Kane, Franson, Ibsen, Roda, and Nickel. So a decent amount of forward players on the bench, which is required really when you've got 3 strikers, midfield options, and of course someone to play. We really could do with a centre-back on... Oh, no, well, Ibsen can play there too. So if worse comes to worse, Ibsen will play in there. And can I just say, I'm really bloody enjoying this save, and I'm really enjoying doing these YouTube videos again. I think that the way we've got the situation at the moment with the schedule and that is just perfect for me. Right, we're going to go assertive from the start. We should be winning this fairly comfortably. Is that the right approach for these players? Apparently, Kenneth is not a fan of that. So that's unfortunate, but what can you do? The defenders seem to like it. Honestly, from this game... Why is it showing us the second promotion stage? We're not in this division. Huh? That's really strange. Hang on, let me just... League Tech. That's very annoying. Have FM... Oh, you're joking me. Okay, so it seems that the update has broken the in-match league table. That's really annoying. So now we can't get the league table up because it's showing us the promotion stage. I'm guessing it's just defaulting to whichever one is the top one in that level that you're at. That's really annoying. Why would you break that? Anyway, moving on. So we're going to we'll leave that there for now, just in case there is another update push and I don't notice it. But that's really frustrating to see. Jensen, apparently we've had a key highlight. Where did that come from? Steffenson's ball back post. Nygaard's header. Oh, and a big save from Falk. I swear I've been saying that over and over again in the last episode as well. Things are looking good to start with. They've got a lot of possession, but it is only 8 minutes in. Is Gregerson going to... There you go. That's what I was on about with Gregerson and those long passes. Steffenson... Oh, my God. Hang on. A goal kick? That looked like it was their player that did that. But okay. We should encourage our players to pull more long balls forward. I don't want to do that too much because we don't want to give more possession up than we have to. What was that? But I think having someone like Pedersen, or Gregerson rather, playing some of those longer, more risky passes could be ideal for us, really. Because I think that I've seen a few times him pick out players over the top that some of my other players were missing out on. Gregerson, right? Will he try it again? Oh, dear me. Jensen could try one over the top here. There's players in the right positions. Steffenson won't quite get there, I don't think, though. Unless... Here we go. Nygaard! Oh, he's missed it. Oh, he's missed it. We've started this game very, very strongly, and that would be pleasing for me. Mikkelsen clearly isn't having the best time of it in midfield for us so far. Here we go. Nygaard, right? Look up and over the top. Steffenson now. We've got a man at the back post. Can he pick him out? He needs to, really. It's back... Oh! Oh! There we go. We have the lead. Søren Bøje there. The third time of asking. We've been really, really good in this game. I guess it is partly down to how bad Nesby have been this season, but it's a great ball over the top from Nygaard into the channel for Steffenson. It's not the best ball across. The defender actually does quite well, but then the other defender decides not to bother, and it's a free goal for Søren Bøje, another one to add to his tally, and a good assist from Nicky Steffenson. It's interesting. I swear before, you didn't used to get assists if the ball was saved and it bounced out again, but again, seems to be another new feature. Rasmus Kramer not having the best time of it there. Jensen's doing a better job. We seem to be using a lot of the left-hand side to attack. Now, I do wonder if that's because Gregerson is set to play more risky passes, so we tend to be utilising that left side of the pitch a tiny bit more. Only 1-0, though. Anything could still happen in this game. We are looking like the better side so far. Possession's falling back into our path a little bit more. We just need a second goal. I really do want to grab that second... Oh, man at the back post. Cleared up. We need to be clearing our lines a little bit better. That's not very much better. We need to be clearing it a little bit further up the pitch and getting it to one of those 3 strikers just to take the pressure off of us a little bit. I'm hoping that we just get a long-range strike at the end of this. They're bossing us in a little bit here, but I guess we are playing counter-attacking, so... Oh, good lord. Whew. That was a bit dangerous. They have shot mostly from range, though, so I'm not too bothered. With both of our midfielders being on yellow cards in this game, I'd be tempted to try and... Oh, dear. I'd be tempted to go for maybe a substitution quite early in the second half and get... What are they doing? I have noticed that there does seem to be a mix-up sometimes between my wing-backs and my... what the earth is going on here? Yeah, between the wing-backs and the centre-backs. Sometimes they just seem to not go for the ball when they should do. It's really odd. Right, Steffenson, can he win the header? He doesn't, but Jensen can pick it up. Knocks it into the channel. No, yes, he does. Here we go. Steffenson, again, they've made a terrible error there. Bøje's through again, and it's hit the post. Oh, what an opportunity. We really could be 2 or 3-0 up in this game at the moment, but we're just fluffing our lines a little bit at the moment, which is not great. Right, it's half-time, and we still can't see the league table. If I had to guess, I'd say that it might just be that the skin is being broken because of it. But then again, the bit on the actual match screen, that's nothing to do with the skin. So I think it is just that FM's broken, which is a bit annoying, but whatever. We'll just have to make do and pretend that we're top of the league right now. Did it say we were top of the league? I really don't know. Unless it's using this to interpret it and it will never actually tell us. That'd be really frustrating if that's the case. If we can play with the same level of intensity as we did in the first half, then we should be good for the... We are a bit sloppy with some of our passing. I've noticed that a lot. Here we go. Dearmus. Kramer, can you get it to the edge of the box on Mikkelsen? Long ranger, perhaps? Go on, you know... Oh, dear. We don't really have any good players for long shots in this team, unfortunately. And I think the way that this corner tactic generally works is you need someone there that can strike them from range. The moment we get someone, then you can bet your boots that I'll be positioning them on the edge of the box. But for now, it ain't happening. Pedersen, see, they still play those long passes. I guess it doesn't consider it that risky. Oh. Okay. Oh, dear. Oh. I thought he was going to play that across his own box there for a second. Mikkelsen into the channel. That must be offside. Stephensen's ball. Boyers. Oh, and another good opportunity goes begging. That was a bit more of a difficult one. We've not been hitting the target enough today. I might be tempted, actually, just to turn the tempo down a notch to try and not exploit that as such, but just try to get players to take their chances a bit more. It always used to work. Now, Mikkelsen's going to come... Oh, we can't do it. I have to wait till it moves on. Now we'll make the change. Mikkelsen I'm going to get off because he's not played super well and he's on a booking. And I'm also going to get Nygaard off in the middle. And we'll get Bigler in there. We've got probably one more substitution to come later. I'm not sure who it would be. It might even be Rune Kortsen to come in and get himself a bit of a run out. Diamosa into the box. Can we win the header? It's cleared away. They've not got a lot of players up the pitch, but our 3 centre-backs are going to... What about that? That is really good work from Roda. We need more of that from our midfielders. Really getting in and making the bite in some tackles. And he's done it again. Jensen, over the top. It's a bit of an extended pass to nobody, but... He's certainly showing... He's putting himself about in the midfield, that's for sure. Straight to Kramer. Nobody's passing has really been that good in this game. Stephensen's in. Can he score? Oh, and it's a great strike from Nicky Stephensen. Finn Pedersen with the ball over the top. I think there might be something to this, you know. The idea of getting my centre-backs to play long passes, because it does seem to be something to be encouraged, and maybe we can train them for it, because they seem to be playing those passes quite regularly anyway. So maybe if we encourage it, then... we might be able to score a few more goals like that. Stephensen with the goal, Finn Pedersen with the assist, and oh, the skip button's massive now. And where's the upload button gone? Another one of their changes, I assume. Right. Andre Gunnarsson is on an 8 right now, which is excellent. I'm really enjoying that. Pedersen also on an 8. No, he's not. Sorry, Andre Gunnarsson is on a 6.8. Not quite the same. Where else can we make changes? Rasmus Kramer. I'm going to get Rune Kortsen on for the last bit of this game. We're 2-0 up, so I'm pretty... happy with that so far. Nicky Stephensen's put in a stellar performance for us. This seems to be mirroring how we did in the first part of the season when we were playing those games, where we had that little poor run and then we managed to drag together 3 straight home wins. In fact, I believe the record might be very similar. Hopefully we can hang on and get a clean sheet here and not mess this up too much. Oh, over the bar. But I think it bodes well for the rest of the season. If we could just turn some of those performances away from home where we're actually looking a lot better, if we could just turn them into wins and draws, it would really, really help us. Stephensen into the channel. Can he find a back post ball? He doesn't need it because Rasmus Bigler probably should have done better there. In fact, he really should have done better. The actual chance creation in this game is very, very similar to how it was when we played against HIK. The main difference is, here we go, what's Pedersen got here? And it's into the channel for Bigler. Can he square it? He has to. It's back post Stephensen 3-0. My goodness. Stephensen's been on fire today, and we've created a lot of opportunities. Not hit the target enough, but I think turning the tempo down might have made a hell of a difference. Pedersen is just firing balls into the space. That is a great pass over the top. Might not have been who he was expecting it to go to, but it's got there anyway, and Stephensen's grabbed himself a second goal, and that is certainly him going to be man of the match, that's for sure. Bigler's got an assist off the bench too. We're 3-0 up against Nesby. They're not a good side, but hey, I'm pleased. Our centre-backs have put in a really strong performance today. Most of them are going to get good scores in terms of average rating, so I guess when you get a clean sheet, that's always likely to happen. Is there a breakaway for one more chance? Oh, Pedersen does well. Does he do well again? He does. And again, some really good defending for once. So after all that, it leaves the stage still looking like this. We're still second as Griva also won their game, but we moved 10 points clear of the relegation places. It really is between quite a few sides. We've got 7 games to go. I think we can be in with a shot purely because of our goal difference, if nothing else. So in the next episode, we'll be playing our final game of the season away at B93. We've got 3 home games in there and 3 away games off camera, so I'd like to try and win the home games, and if we could just get anything from the away games, it would be great. So that's what you can look forward to in the next episode, a live comp away at B93. There could be a lot on the line. We might not be able to monitor it in real time, though, because of the league table. Anyway, if you have enjoyed the episode, do drop a like on the video. That would be fantastic. It really helps out. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more videos like this in your inbox 3 times a week. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.